Um, Hello, everyone. I'm Arna,
And I'm Maitri B. Walker.
and we're part of the Bloom Initiative, committed to helping you get that job, advance your professional work experience, and make you an all-around corporate boss.
So today we'll talk about resume building or how to craft the perfect resume.
What is a resume? A resume is a short written description of your education, qualifications, and previous jobs, which you send to an employer when you're trying to get a job. So basically, a resume is a sheet of paper which has all of your different skills and experience. The most important thing about a resume is that it's the first thing someone looks like when you're applying for a job, and sometimes the only thing they look at before deciding whether to give you an interview or not. So you want to think about it like an advertisement for yourself.
So let's just quickly try this out. So you can do this quick activity and just pause the video. Okay, let's move on. What are the parts of a resume? So first, you always start with your introduction. You want to write down your name and contact information. You write this down because you want to make sure that there's a way to reach you. You also want to put down any skills that you have. You want to put down industry relevant skills though, and soft skills. So, what are soft skills? So, soft skills are any skills that help you in social situations or helps get the job done. An example would be public speaking. Most important thing you want to put down is experience. You want to put down experience to back up your skills. This shows proof of what you did. And lastly, you want to include your education, where you currently go to school or where did you go to school, and any degrees that you might have.
Starting off with the introduction. In an introduction, you want to put down your contact information. So this can be your name, email, phone number, and address. And the most important thing about the introduction is you want to make sure it's up to date. If you're changing houses, got a new email address, got a new phone, or um changed your Gmail, you want to make sure that it's updated on your resume. Because the last thing you want is for someone to be calling the wrong number or emailing the wrong email address. And when you don't respond, they just think that you're not interested. So, for example, you could see an outline about how the contact information section could be structured. Please don't dox me.
Okay, skills. So remember, you want to put any skills that are relevant to the job that you're applying. You don't want to put that you can perform surgery if you're applying to the marketing job, because it's not relevant. Even though it's really impressive, it's just not relevant. Over here to your left, you see Bob. And Bob states that he's double jointed in his thumb. Bob wants to be a firefighter, and you don't need to mention that you're double jointed in your thumb to be a firefighter. So, what you want to do is you want to put skills that are industry specific. So why should you do that? This provides credibility to the interviewer and that you know what you're doing. So, for example, if you want to apply to a computer science job, you want to list down any languages that you know or any technology that you know how to operate. So, always you want to put down soft skills. These are really important when you're mentioning skills. So, mention skills like public speaking, leadership, organization, and flexibility. So these skills show that you can work in a team and that you have other skills you need to thrive in the workforce.
The experience place is could be the most important part of your resume and also help you stand out the most if you know how to structure it correctly. This is your place to show that you know what you're doing. So you want to make sure that your experience shows proof of your skills. You don't want your interviewer seeing all these amazing skills up top, but when they get to your experience section, they have no idea how you got those skills or what your qualifications are. So for example, let's say that someone lists teamwork and organization on their interview, on their resume. For experience, you could list down that you helped plan and execute a talent show with over 30 participants. Now, what you don't want is for your experience to be irrelevant to the job you're applying for. As you can see, our poor interviewer here is wondering why Patricia is talking about babysitting when she wants to become a doctor. While it might have been more informative and help her stand out more if she puts down a project she worked on or maybe a past internship she had to help get that doctor job. So, oh, wait. Um, Having experience provides relevant experience and prove you can actually do the skills that are listed on your resume. But the important thing about the experience section is you want to strike a balance between having no experience and too much experience. So when you're making your resume, you don't want it to be 5 pages long, but at the same time, you don't want it to be like half a page. Let's talk about what can be too much experience. If your resume is going over 3 pages, it might be time to cut some things out. Focus on adding experience that showcase your skills the most. For example, if you're applying to a nuclear engineering interview, owning a cupcake stand might not be the best experience to write down, even though it could show these awesome skills like entrepreneurship, management, and financial planning. Those might not be something that could help you stand out and show you're the most qualified candidate for a nuclear engineering interview. At the same time, it can be a problem if you have too little information on your interview. If you don't have like a page and a half of experience, then it could be time to add some things. Want to dig deep and think about ways that you show skills that you have. Look at different school projects you've had, or maybe different places you volunteered. For example, talking about a school project where you worked in a group of 5 to create a podcast can show that you can use video editing software and also have time management and organizational skills, which are all amazing things to have on your resume.
So, education. You want to write down where you're currently going to school and the graduation year. So, the graduation year is also important to include because it shows that you're legit. So, other things you want to add under education is GPA, class rank, or anything that you might feel important that can help you stand out. So, over here we have an example of what you can write down. Awards. So awards are totally optional in including in your resume, but it'd be really nice to show. But remember, you only want to show the awards that are relevant. For example, you don't want to list an award if you don't if you, in how you won your school hula hoop contest if you're applying to a bartender job. It doesn't show there's no relevance between the two topics, so it's just better not to include about your um about winning that competition.
An important part of your resume can be action words, and these are words you can use to help easily show impact and help you stand out to an interviewer. You can easily find lists of these words on Google or look at example resumes, but some examples that you could use are increased, collaborate, arranged, or train. And an example for a couple of these words is shown on the slide also. So for example, you could say that you help increase participation by 15% by introducing new activities and initiatives. And you don't just have to do this in a job, you could do this in a club or maybe in a classroom. Or maybe you train new members by leading them through a planned curriculum and projects. This doesn't also necessarily have to be a job. This could be somewhere like a summer camp or, again, a club. Think about different ways that you've shown skills that you've used and action words that you can add to help enhance your resume.
Uh, so just to sum it all up, you want your resume to show all of your best skills and experiences. This is important because before we say that this might be the only thing that they see before offering you the job. This is a and make sure you don't make it too irrelevant and get straight to the point because they want to know why they should hire you and not someone else. And be sure to look at example resumes for the specific job or industry. You can just find them on Google. This will give you a basic outline of how people who ended up with these jobs succeeded in getting the job and how they structured their resume to get the job.
Thank you for attending our resume workshop. We hope that you learned a lot and were very informed by this resume workshop and are able to create the perfect resume to get your dream job. Please be sure to follow the Bloom Initiative on Instagram and subscribe to our YouTube channel. Thank you and have a nice day.